Last time on Dungeons and Kuroninja, our main characters entered the ruins and learned about 4 sages with the power of dark metamorphosis. Ryuga found a +1 longsword, and the party found the true identity of the mysterious knight serving Omega Orionis, a sage named Selene Tsukino, who Rei was familiar with. After fighting some statues, the party got the miracle shard and made it out of the ruins alive. But now, they have to do something for Don Kuroninja, and his underboss Liliana Nightshade has brought them to Don Kuroninja's lair through a portal. Alright, so before we begin, I've decided that with the miracle shard found, it's a good time for our player characters to level up. So here's the upgrades I gave them. I decided to give Ryuga a ranged attack since he didn't have one. And since he's holding the miracle shard, I've decided to call this attack the miracle shot. I had no idea what to do with KN, so I made his crossbow proficiency better, and also spent some power points on his fortitude. Rei Shirasaka's spell slots have all been upgraded to level 2 spell slots, and she can now cast Detect Thoughts. Last but not least, I'm leaning more towards the paladin build with Mayu Sakuragi, and so I gave her the ability to smite her enemies. I also upgraded her healing hands ability from rolling d4s to d8s so it can heal more hit points. Now that the party has reached level 3, it's time to see what happens next. Somewhere in a pocket dimension, Don Kuroninja, the leader of his interdimensional crime syndicate, is having a nice dinner with some of his enforcers. A portal then opens, and out comes the underboss, Liliana Nightshade, along with Ryuga and the rest of the party. Don Kuroninja has no idea who these people are until he sees that KN is there. Liliana explains that she made a deal with the party where they would have to do some errands for the syndicate in exchange for their lives being spared. Seeing how Don Kuroninja lost Metis, one of his strongest enforcers, to the party, he thinks this deal is a good idea. Let's find out the objective of this task Don Kuroninja wants the party to do. Okay, I think I got something. Don Kuroninja is expecting a shipment of cargo from the town of Machina, and he wants the party to go there and make sure the cargo is brought to its intended destination. I need a description of the place he wants the cargo to be delivered. And there is an abandoned stone tower near the town of Machina. It was originally an archive of records related to idols and stuff, but now it has been turned into a secret outpost for Don Kuroninja's forces. After Don Kuroninja gives the overview, he orders Liliana to teleport the party out of his lair. Liliana Nightshade opens a portal and she brings the party to the town of Machina quickly. Let's see what the cargo looks like. KN sees the cargo for a brief moment. Inside the boxes are very rare gemstones that cannot be found in this dimension. They have been transported to Earth 96 and the party's job is to bring them to the tower. Let's see what they will have to deal with on the way. As the party is taking the cargo to the tower, their path is suddenly blocked. It is blocked by cyber ninjas, and leading them is the wizard who captured KN and Mayu back in episode 3. Does the wizard recognize any of them? The wizard glares at the party as they walk by, but doesn't do anything. He and his cyber ninjas then continue on their way. Eventually, the party reaches the tower. Let's see what happens next. Right before the party can even enter the tower to deliver the cargo, they are all ambushed by a group of 4 bandits. Leading them is a woman with green streaks of hair. Her name is Morgan Green, and her goals are to get her hands on the rare otherworldly gems and crush Ryuga's circle. The party must be careful, because Morgan specializes in fire magic, and her attacks could damage the cargo. Morgan strikes and it's time to roll initiative. Morgan Green will go first, and the first thing she does is hide. Up next is Rei Shirasaka. The first thing she does is cast Arms of Darkness, striking 2 of the bandits. The bandits must both succeed on a reflex save. The 2 tendrils burst out and attack the 2 bandits as Rei moves towards them. After that, the bandits both take a lot of curse damage and fall to the ground. Mayu then goes after another one of the bandits, but instead of using one of her strongest moves, she goes for an unarmed strike and tries to kick the bandit in the face. Mayu kicks the bandit in the face, taking him down. There's only 1 bandit left, and now it's KN's turn. KN gets out his crossbow and fires a single bolt at the bandit. The bolt flies above the bandit and lands on the grass. The bandit responds by running at KN and swinging his knife at him. The bandit swings his knife, but KN dodges easily with the help of his drunken fist skills. Ryuga then charges at the bandit, then attacks KN, and fires a miracle shot at the bandit. The blast of light hits the bandit and sends him flying into a tree, where he falls to the ground unconscious. Morgan Green then steps into view, this time wearing a belt. She calls out, "Henshin!" and transforms into an armored warrior. Morgan then takes the belt off and shoots a firebolt from one of her hands at Ryuga. She shoots another firebolt at Rei. Ryuga and Rei both dodge the firebolts in time. Rei then sets her sights on Morgan and fires an eldritch blast at her. Morgan Green is hit by the blast, and now it's Mayu's turn. Mayu decides to try out her new ability to smite her opponents. She stands right in front of Morgan and swings her claymore, which glows a radiant light green. Mayu swings her claymore, dealing a lot of damage. Heian then realizes that that he's in between Morgan's line of sight and the cargo, so he teleports to another location where he can fire his crossbow at her. Last but not least, Ryuga fires a miracle shot at Morgan. The shot hits Morgan, dealing some damage. She's almost down, but she's not ready to give up just yet. Morgan gets out her quarterstaff and attacks Mayu 2 times. The first attack hits, but Mayu dodges the second one. Rei then fires another Eldritch Blast at Morgan Green. Rei fires a blast at Morgan and she is almost defeated. Now it's up to Mayu to finish the fight. She gets out her claymore but decides not to use Smite this time. Mayu swings her claymore to finish this battle. Mayu slashes Morgan with her claymore, causing her to take a few steps back and untransform. Morgan gets up and swears that she will return to defeat the party someday. After that, she runs away. The good news is the cargo is safe. Mayu heals some of her hit points, and now, with the bandits taken care of, the party is now able to enter the tower, bringing the cargo with them. Let's see if this next scene in the tower will go as expected. As the party enters the tower, they are greeted by a woman wearing an outfit that looks similar to the one that Rei Shiresaka is wearing. The woman introduces herself as Willow, a member of Don Kuroninja's syndicate, and thanks the party for delivering her package. She opens the box and gathers the gemstones. Ryuga asks Willow what the gemstones are for, and she says that it's her payment for helping Don Kuroninja establish an outpost in the town of Makina. Rei looks around the tower and notices a helm on one of the shelves. She then asks Willow what a dark sage is doing working for Don Kuroninja. Willow explains that another dark sage joined forces with Omega Orionis and stole a scroll from her, which has instructions for a ritual on creating thanatoliths. So she decided to make a deal with Don Kuroninja and use her divination powers bestowed upon her by her helm to assist him in finding good locations for outposts and strongholds on Earth 96. Those crystals are meant to be forged into a magic weapon. Ryuga believes that the dark sage who stole the scroll was Selen Tsukino, and so he asks Willow if she knows anything about how to get to Mount Pandora. But Willow says that Mount Pandora is very far from the town of Makina, so she has no idea how to get there quickly. Alright, now that the party has dealt with Don Kuroninja and delivered the package, they must now find a way to Mount Pandora so that Ryuga can complete his quest. But this will be a long journey to the mountain. What obstacles will await the party as they resume their main quest? We shall find out in the next episode of Dungeons and Kuroninja.